We'll have a little mariachi music in the background.
Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Randy. Are you ready for an adventure?
Come see our journey today. It's San Fernando Mission, the cemetery.
Well, we're doing the cemetery too. In our previous video, we visited the grave of Richie Valens. While we were at the San Fernando Mission Cemetery, we found that there were over 117 famous people buried here. So we decided to pay our respects here to about 12 of those famous folks. If you enjoy our videos, please give us a like and a comment if you can.
Right now we're visiting Bob and Delores Hope in their eternal resting place.
At the San Fernando Mission.
He's different. He's very different than the cemetery.
It's funny that when Bob Hope, when he was
doing the USO?
No, when he was starting to die, when he was on his deathbed or whatever,
okay.
They said, "Bob, where do you want to be buried?" And he said, "Surprise me."
Did he really?
And they did. They
wow.
surprised him.
He's got this huge garden. It's beautiful in here. Very serene.
That's him behind you.
Right? And then they have a little plaque on the wall just behind us.
He said, "Surprise me."
Yep.
I hope he was surprised. Bob Hope hosted the Academy Awards show 19 times, more than any other host.
Okay.
We're with Bob Hope.
Bob Hope.
Bob Hope had a great respect for the men and women who served in the armed forces, and this was reflected in his willingness to go anywhere to entertain them.
And everything's going up at home, prices, taxes, and miniskirts. Miniskirts are bigger than ever. Even some of the fellas are wearing them. Don't laugh. If you'd have thought of it, you wouldn't be here.
His real name was Leslie Towns Hope, but he always went by Bob Hope. He was British born, but he was an American actor, entertainer, and producer with a career that spanned nearly 80 years and achievements in vaudeville, network television, network radio, and the USO tours every year. He appeared in more than 70 short and feature films, starring in 54 of them. The films included a series of 7 Road to musical comedy films with longtime friend Bing Crosby. This was all built for Bob Hope. This is Bob Hope's Memorial Gardens at the San Fernando Mission. The song "Thanks for the Memories" was his signature tune.
And here we have Bob and Delores Hope.
Bob Hope had been previously married and divorced in 1934. Bob and Delores were also married in 1934. They lived in Manhattan, New York, and in 1937 they moved to a house they had built in Moore Park Street in Toluca Lake, California. They resided in Toluca Lake until their respective deaths. They have like a shrine built just for them. On the morning of July the 27th, 2003, Hope died of pneumonia at his home in Toluca Lake. It was 2 months after his 100th birthday.
This is the statue that's behind Bob and Delores Hope in their eternal resting place, looking out into this beautiful garden.
I guess you could call Bob Hope a 4-star performer, as he actually has 4 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 4 different categories.
And here, walking after Bob and Delores Hope's resting place, is a nice little fountain. And there's a tribute.
Bob Hope's resting place was at the far east end of the cemetery and had to be accessed by going through the actual San Fernando Mission. So now we've moved back over to the actual cemetery. Kathryn Miner is officially the little old lady from Pasadena. Kathryn would always say, "Put a Dodge in your garage, honey. The ad campaign inspired the song The Little Old Lady from Pasadena by Jan and Dean. The song became a national hit, and Kathryn Miner became the Little Old Lady for all time. Kathryn Miner was an American character actress who specialized in playing little old ladies in movies, TV shows, and commercials in the Southern California Dodge dealers. The origins of the Little Old Lady from Pasadena idea came from a very popular Dodge advertising campaign launched in early 1964.
I certainly hope so. I came all the way from Pasadena to buy this car.
Lee Deforest, credited with the invention of talking movies. He was an American inventor and fundamentally important early pioneer in electronics. He invented the first practical electronic amplifier. He had over 300 patents worldwide. He invented the 3-element triode vacuum tube in 1906, which helped kickstart the electronic age. It all led to the development of talking motion pictures, among many other countless applications. Lee Deforest died from a severe heart attack in 1958. Ironically, he was relatively poor at the time of his death, with just $1,250 in his bank account. The graveyards always seem to have their own peacefulness and beauty. Next, we visit the grave of William Frawley, better known for his part as Fred Mertz. Well, Fred, I think you're dead. Best remembered for playing the part of Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy. There's Fred Mertz, or Bub. He played the part of Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy, and Bub O'Casey in the comedy series My Three Sons from 1960 to 1965. He also played the political advisor to the judge on Miracle on 34th Street. Frawley suffered a fatal heart attack while walking home from a movie on Hollywood Boulevard. He was always my favorite in I Love Lucy. William Frawley was an avid New York Yankees fan. Frawley had it written into his I Love Lucy contract that he did not have to work during the World Series if the Yankees were playing. Frawley did not appear in 2 episodes of the show due to the Yankees being in the World Series. Yeah, nice big one on that one. Jane Wyatt was an American actress. She starred in several films and also in the television series Father Knows Best as Margaret Anderson. She also played the part of Amanda Grayson, the human mother of Spock, on the original series Star Trek. She also won 3 Emmy Awards for her work in television. Jane Wyatt suffered a mild stroke in the 1990s, but recovered from it. She died in 2006 at her home in Bel Air, California. She was 96 at the time of death. She spent the final years of her life answering her fan mail, which she always enjoyed. Jerry Colona was an American musician, actor, comedian, singer, songwriter, and a trombonist. He was also the voice of the March Hare in the Walt Disney animated classic Alice in Wonderland. He often played a zany sidekick for Bob Hope. He often traveled with Bob Hope during the holiday USO shows. After a guest appearance on the Monkees TV show, he suffered a stroke, which forced him to retire, and then in 1979, he had a heart attack, which forced him to spend the next 7 years at the Motion Picture and Television Hospital in Calabasas, California. He died of kidney failure in 1986. Walter Brennan was an American actor. He won an Academy Award 3 times for his early movie work. He was the star of the TV series The Real McCoys, which also starred Richard Crenna. Grandpappy Amos. The Real McCoys turned out to be a hit TV show, and it ran from 1957 to 1963. Or Will Sennett. After that, he had another TV show called Tycoon, which only lasted for 2 seasons. His final TV series that he was in was called The Guns of Will Sennett in 1967. Well, when you see that, you can just say, oh, that's Walter Brennan. No brag, just fact.
But he's better, and I'm better than both of them. No brag, just fact.
Guns of Will Sennett was about an older man in search of his gunfighting son. He also starred in several Disney movies. The No-Mobile, Who's Minding the Mint, Those Callaways, and one and only genuine original family band. He died from emphysema September the 21st, 1974, at the age of 80. Grandpappy Amos, the girls and the boys, and a family known as the Real McCoys. George Gobel was a humorist, actor, and a comedian, best known for his own weekly variety television program, The George Gobel Show, that ran from 1959 to 1960 on CBS.
Well, not exactly in show business. I say he was in show business. He was in a business that reminded you of show business, but not very much.
He was also a well-known panelist on the TV show Hollywood Squared. And it's such a shame that the graves are not kept very well, and he was almost completely covered in dirt. We got that fixed up now.
Yeah, but, you know, we can wing better stuff than they write on these cars. Yes, sir.
George Gobel made many guest appearances and cameos on over 15 different TV programs. He also appeared several times on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Chuck Connors is best known for his portrayal of the Rifleman. At first, we thought he was a Dodger fan, Celtics fan, and a Cub fan. Then we found out he actually played for the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Boston Celtics. After his sports career, he spent 40 years in film and television, and his best-known role is Lucas McCain, the Rifleman, which he played for 5 years. It's funny how the picture's fading out, huh? His picture may be fading on his gravestone, but the memory of his role will never fade. Chuck Connors, while playing basketball, became the first professional basketball player to break a backboard. He did it with an actual shot and not a slam dunk. He died at the age of 71 at Cedars-Sinai Hospital of lung cancer.
There you go, Clarence Ducky Nash, voice of Donald Duck. Buried next to his wife, Margaret.
Clarence Nash was an American voice actor. He was inducted as a Disney legend for his contributions to Walt Disney films. In addition to Donald's voice, he also did Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and his girlfriend Daisy. He provided the meows and yowls of Figaro the cat in Pinocchio and in a handful of shorts. He also voiced a bullfrog croaking "Watch out" in Bambi. He died of leukemia in 1985.
The Shrine of the Holy Family. It's actually a very pretty little altar here. It's very quiet. And a reflection of remembrance.
The final resting place that we visited this day was of Bob May, an American actor remembered for playing the robot on the television series Lost in Space. Bob May only played the robot, but did not do the voice for the robot. Bob May enjoyed playing the part of the robot so much that he described the suit as his home away from home. During breaks, it said he would puff away on cigarettes inside of the suit, with the smoke coming out of the suit amusing other members of the cast. Bob May appeared in all 83 episodes inside the prop costume built by Bob Stewart. If you enjoyed our vlog, please subscribe
And ring that notification bell.
and give us a like. It lets us know you care.
And we'll see you on the next one.
And it's not often we get real mariachis to say goodbye with.
So see you later. Enjoy.